He's the gas ban man. Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews is certainly full of some type of gas. Hot air, perhaps? The picture you see on screen is him back in April 2020 using gas to cook some potato, corn and tuna patties. But from 2024, the Premier has dictated that new houses in Victoria will not be allowed to be connected to gas as part of the government's plan to reach net zero emissions in the state by 2045. I'd just like to point out that I'm not pro-gas or anti-gas. I'm fairly neutral about gas. I'm not here to tout its benefits or discuss its impact on the environment. I'm just here to pass comment on the new Victorian gas ban and whether it makes any sense whatsoever. First of all, if somebody really wants to use gas in their home, they could still use it by buying one of those portable gas stoves, unless the government banned them as well. I know Chinese people here in Queensland who live in all-electric homes who do exactly this, because in China that's what they're used to. Typically speaking, Chinese people prefer to cook with gas. I've honestly had Chinese guests visit my home and bring their own portable gas burner, knowing that we don't have gas, which is fine, I don't mind, I'm not offended in any way. Or, of course, you could always buy a gas barbecue and enjoy cooking with gas on your patio, unless the government outlaw that too. Australia's Environmental Department, the aptly named Department of Climate Change, yes, we have a Department of Climate Change, it was renamed last year by the Albanese government from the Department of Agriculture, Water and the Environment. To me, that's like renaming the Department of Health and Aged Care to the Department of Coronaviruses and Vaccination. Anyway, according to the newly established department, Victoria gas consumption accounts for 65% of household gas use across Australia. Victorians are by far the largest consumers of residential gas in the country. So if you start banning gas, there has to be an alternative, right? Well, the only alternative is electricity, or wood fires, but that seems like a bit of a backward step. Most electricity in Victoria is currently produced by burning coal, which is more polluting than burning gas. So if all those households who are forbidden from using gas are instead using coal-fired power, well, that's not really helping the environment, is it? So unless all these people are being transferred directly onto renewables, which I presume there are simply not enough of, this gas ban is looking a bit shaky. Actually, of the electricity that isn't produced by burning coal in Victoria, most of the remaining power is produced by burning gas. So those gas stoves that you won't be allowed to use will be replaced with electric stoves that are powered by, you guessed it, coal and gas. Well, mostly. Here's the chart from the Department of Climate Change. Victoria currently gets the vast majority of its energy from fossil fuels, gas, oil and coal. It's a funny old world, isn't it? So if this gas ban goes through, what do you think will happen with all this unused gas? Do you think it will be kept underground, keeping the environment safe? Of course not. It'll be extracted and shipped overseas in fossil fuel powered ships. Definitely. There's no doubt about it. According to Geoscience Australia, all these links are below by the way, most of the gas will be shipped to Asia. And what do you think the Chinese and the Japanese are going to do with our gas? Bury it? No, they're going to burn it. I've lived in both China and Japan. Telling them to not use gas would be like telling an Aussie not to eat meat pies, or an American to give up their guns, or forcing the British to use the word soccer. It's just not going to happen. So in Victoria, you not being allowed to use a gas stove is not going to stop the gas being used somewhere else in the world. It simply isn't. There is a huge demand for gas in Asia, and Australia can provide that gas. If we didn't sell that gas, Australia's economy would crash. According to Geoscience Australia, in 2021, Australia's liquefied natural gas exports reached a record high of 81.2 million tonnes, making Australia the world's largest LNG exporter. I'm not saying that you have to like it. I'm not saying we shouldn't strive for a more sustainable future, but banning residential gas is a bloody stupid idea. In northern China, where I lived in winter, it's bitterly cold. They need fossil fuels to survive. They'll either use Australia's gas or somebody else's gas. As I said, I'm not saying you have to like it, but that's the reality. It will be decades before they can replace all their energy needs with renewables, if at all. Not to mention that other states in Australia don't even agree with the gas ban. New South Wales Premier Chris Minns has ruled out banning gas, stating that he doesn't need another complication and that there's already enough serious energy challenges. Queensland Energy Minister Mick de Brenny said banning gas is not on the agenda, and instead Queensland will be working with industry to reduce emissions from the gas network by blending in green hydrogen. The other states are essentially the same and do not agree to Dan's gas ban. So why is Premier Andrews so intent on taking away your gas stoves? Well, as I've shown you in this video, it's not going to help the environment, so that can't be it. It's possible he thinks this is going to be his legacy. He's going to be the first Premier to outlaw evil gas, and I guess he expects the history books to look favourably upon him. Or he just thinks he can tell Victorians what to do. Do you know what I think? I think adult Victorians should be able to make their own decisions. If they want to use a gas burner, go for it. If the cost of gas goes up, then of course more people will transition away from it. But is a ban necessary? Should Victorians be banning gas? Or should they ban Dan? No, seriously, I want to know.